Hola mi gente, welcome back to Cat and Too Many Books. I am Kat, and I just wanted to get into putting out my May possibilities as quickly as possible. So today, that's what we're going to be talking about, what books I may read in May. Now, I haven't done my wrap up for April yet, so I'll do a very small video for that later. And I have another video that is my library like haul for the spring summer months, so I'll be talking about those as well, or maybe just the spring. I think just the spring one. I'll be talking about that in another video, but today again I want to just focus on what I am going to have as my possibilities for May. So I'm gonna just start with my books from the library that I have taken out, because those are the ones that I usually have to, if I'm going to read them, I'm gonna have to read them first. So these are all from, I'm just checking to make sure. I have another one in there that's from the library, but I wanna put it in a different section, so I'm gonna leave it there. So these are all books I got from the library that I am hoping again to read in May. I've actually already begun one, and that is Flirting Lessons by Jasmine Guillory. It is a queer romance. It is Jasmine Guillory's first queer romance, not her first romance book. I believe she writes romance novels, but it is her first queer romance novel. It is about two lovely ladies, Avery and Taylor. Avery and Taylor. Taylor's this really well-known flirt, very kind of gregarious and very outgoing, who is, her best friend bets her that she can't not date somebody for a certain amount of time, and she meets Avery, who is kind of a little bit more quiet, and Avery's just gotten out of a relationship, and she is looking to sort of expand her horizons in her life, and she's very attracted to women and would like to date women. So Taylor sort of takes her under her wing to help her learn how to flirt, because Avery doesn't know how to flirt. So they start having sort of like these flirting lessons, and they kind of seem like they're going to be dates they're going on, kind of, sort of. So far it's really cute and really good. I read the first couple of chapters already, and I'm liking it. I like how readable it is and how cute, and I'm excited to see what happens between these two very lovely ladies. The next book that I have is Misery Hates Company by Elizabeth Hobbs. It's a Marigold Manners mystery. This is the first in a series, a fairly new series. I think it came out at the beginning of this year, at the very end of last year. Yep, it's a 2025 release. So it came out at the beginning of this year. And so it's about Marigold, who her family is very like old school Boston money, and she's studying to be, I think, an archaeologist, but something happens. Her parents pass away, but they're destitute, it turns out, and so she has to put her academic career on hold, and ends up going up to New England to live with some extended family, and I think she arrives at Hatchet Farm. So she sort of sets out to modernize things and use her archaeological background to do some stuff, but then she ends up becoming implicated in some kind of murder that happens, so she has to use all her skills to make sure that she's not, the one that gets in trouble for the murder, and to figure out who really did it. Sounds kind of cute. I love these kind of cozy murder mystery things. I really like the setting and how I love the creepiness of the cover, and it sounded like a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that I get to read it very soon. The next one I have is for May's The Keeper of Lonely Hearts by E.M. Anderson. This is about a man. It is about Peter. Yes. So Peter's actually mortal. So find an angry spirit, send it on its way before it causes trouble, leave before anyone learns his name. That's what he does. So he's lived for over 200 years, and he's ready to not be here anymore. He's tired. But he ends up meeting some folks in his native Ireland, and he decides to stay to help them. And then he just kind of gets embroiled in their everyday lives, and I think maybe he gets like a second wind at wanting to continue on with his immortality and doing the work that he does. I don't know for sure, but it sounded really cute, and it's Irish. It's in Ireland, and it's about ghosts and an immortal, and so it sounds like a kind of cool fantasy, and I thought it'd be fun to read. Okay, so those were just the ones from my library that I'm taking from Library Hall. You'll see those again in my Library Hall video that I'm having coming out. And then I'm also going to be reading from several different Asian American or Pacific Islander authors for AAPI Heritage Month. And so those will be the next ones that I'm going to go ahead and talk about. So let's start with that. The first one that I'm going to read is actually from my childhood. I love this manga, both the animated, like the anime, and the manga itself. I don't remember much of it, but because I read it when I was very young. But I am going to actually read volumes 1 and 2 of Ranma 1/2 by Rumiko Takahashi. So Ranma 1/2 is the story of Ranma, who his father is absolutely horrendous, and throws him in this cursed lake where he and his father have this fight in this place with all these different cursed lakes, and he accidentally falls into the cursed lake of a girl, where a girl was drowned, and his dad falls into the cursed lake of a drowned panda. And so like when they get wet, I think it's cold water, or is it? I think it's when they get wet, period. They turn into, I don't remember if it's cold water turns them into what they're cursed, and then hot water turns them back into themselves. But I think that's how it works. And so then he's been betrothed to Akane. So he's been betrothed to a girl named Akane, who his dad's best friend's one of their daughters. Anyway, it's just about like the craziness of like the curse, and nobody knows that he's the girl version of himself as well. It's like a whole thing. But it was really fun and I enjoyed it. I think they actually rebooted the series on Netflix. I saw the first episode, which is very much like the original first episode from the 90s, or 80s or 90s or whatever it was. But anyway, so I will be reading volumes 1 and 2. Next on my list is The Chosen and the Beautiful by Nihai Vo. I think is how you say the name. I'm sorry if I said that incorrectly. I will try to make sure I know how to say it. And it is a story about it's about a magician, a socialite, an immigrant. Jordan Baker grows up in the most rarefied circles of 1920s American society. Money, education, invitations to some of the most exclusive parties of the jazz age. She's also queer and Asian. A Vietnamese adoptee treated as an exotic attraction by her peers. And she has magic. And I don't know, it sounded really good. I'm also getting this for Buzzword Readathon cover challenge, eyes on the cover. So her eyes are on the cover. Yeah, this sounds amazing. I really kind of want to read it. I don't know. Vo, I'm just going to say Vo. The author Vo has a new book that came out that sounded really, really good to me, but I wanted to read this one first. So, yeah, I'm hoping I can get that read in May. Next, I have The Silence of Bones by June Her. I have been attempting to read this for years, so I'm going to put this at the very top of my list of things to read in May when I'm in the mood to read it. It is a murder mystery. It is about a orphan 16-year-old in Joseon in 1800. So her name is Sol, and she is indentured to the police, and she's actually works with a young inspector that she really likes, And they find a woman that's murdered, and he is a suspect in the murder. She doesn't believe that he's done it, so she ends up starting to investigate to clear his name. That's kind of the gist of it, but it's set in the 1800s in Joseon, Joseon. And yeah, it just sounds, I've been meaning to read it for a while. My best friend actually gave this to me. She read it and really, really liked it, and has been telling me for ages to read it. So April, I'm going to read it in May, I promise. So hopefully, no, not hopefully. I'm going to read this one in May because I've had it for so long on my TBR. I really want to get it read. And so the last of my books that I have that I'm reading for, reading for authors that are AAPI, is Watermoon by Samantha Soto Yambawe, which this is very new, came out this year. Again, this is one of my favorite books that I own because not just the end pages, but like the cover of the cover itself is just gorgeous. Like gorgeous. Let me literally look at this. The inside is gorgeous. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful book. It's also super intriguing. It sounds so, it's kind of cozy, I think. And it's another kind of little mystery, sort of. It's about, it's about Hannah, who inherits this pawn shop. But in the pawn shop, you don't sell items. You sell like your dreams, or it is your dreams, right? Choices. Oh, I'm sorry. Life choices and deepest regrets. That's where you can pawn off in this store. So Hannah's like the new owner, and on her first day as the new owner, she finds it ransacked. The most precious object she has is missing, is stolen, and her father's missing. And then this gentleman comes in who she's never met before, but is like this very charming. I think he's a scientist or something, and he's like, "We need to go do this thing." Like go on an adventure. So they kind of go on an adventure. I'm assuming looking for the relic and trying to find her father. Yeah, it just sounds a lot of fun. And I don't know. I feel like it would be a fun read to have in May. Hopefully I'm in the mood for some of these. Next, I have a few more to do. Again, I will not be reading all of these. I know myself well enough. But I want to have like an array. Now, this one I probably should read because it is part of the Buzzword Readathon, and I really want to fill in all the Buzzword Readathons challenges. So this is the reading challenge one, which is that the title should have either 2 T-O or 2 T-O-O in it. So I chose to finally read the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I've had this forever. This is set in the 90s. It is about a book club, a mom book club, where they, I think, read true crime, and then one of the moms is convinced that a vampire has moved into the neighborhood, but nobody believes her, and she has to sort of prove it and also get him, I guess. I don't know 100% for sure, but I do enjoy Grady Hendrix a lot. And so I think this is going to be a really fun read for me. The last kind of challenge that I have for myself in May is to do a challenge for the May Flowers Challenge, which is basically a book, reading a book that has flowers on it. So I am going to finally, I'm so sad, but also excited, but I'm sad because this is the final of the series. So I'm just like, I don't want it to end, but also I need to read it. So that would be Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales by Heather Fawcett. This is the last in the Emily Wilde series. I bought this when it came out a couple months ago, and I still haven't read it. I think it came out in March. And I still haven't read it. And so, yeah, I need to like get to it. Of course, now it is Emily and Brambleby, Wendell, end up going back to Wendell's, spoiler alert, if we don't know anything about this. Let me try to be vague. Wendell and Emily have to go back to where Wendell comes from and deal with all of the things in his kingdom. I'll leave it at that, just in case nobody has like read the rest of these. And it's just them kind of dealing with that. Again, it's epistolatory, which is why I love it so much. I love the voices of Emily and Wendell. Well, Emily, really. And, well, Wendell, because sometimes I think you read from him too. Wendell's like one of my favorite characters. He reminds me so much of like Howl from Howl's Moving Castle, so much. And yeah, this is going to be for the May Flowers Challenge. And yeah, I'm kind of excited to read it. Sad to be done with the series, but excited to read it anyway. Then this is one of my most anticipated. That was one of my most anticipated. This is also one of my most anticipated books of the year, and that is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This is Hamish's story. It takes place during the 50th Hunger Games, and it is just about Hamish's reaping and what he has to do to survive. I have heard, I've been very spoiler free since this came out, but I have heard a lot of people say how absolutely devastating this novel is, and that's saying a lot because, so I'm looking forward to it. I love Hamish so much. I really want to find out so much more about how he feels, and I know Susan Collins has very specific things that she is saying with these books, and they are very apropos to us where we are currently, to be fair. And so yeah, I will be reading this in May. I hope I'm in the mood to read it. But I'm gonna kind of put it up to the top just to see if I am in the mood. The next one I have is I read the first in this series this past month and literally fell in love with it so much. Was it this past month? Yeah, it must have been. I think this past month, and I loved it so much. I didn't think I was gonna love it so much. That was Divine Rivals. And so I picked up Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I also picked this up as a library haul, so I might have it in that library haul video, maybe not. But then I ended up picking it up at the store anyway because I want to own it. It doesn't matter, I want to own it because I loved Divine Rivals so much. And so this picks up where Divine Rivals left off. Yeah, love it. This picks up where Divine Rivals left off, and Divine Rivals kind of left you off. Not kind of. Divine Rivals left you off on a cliffhanger. I love Iris. I love Roman. I love this romance. I generally do. What got me about Divine Rivals was its portrayal of grief as someone who is still navigating grief and will probably be navigating grief for a long time. I was really moved and touched and related to how Rebecca Ross wrote about grief in Divine Rivals, and it really made me love the book so much. And the two characters were just I really fell for the two characters and their romance, and I'm so intrigued to learn more about the gods now, because I think the gods are more focused in this book. The gods are more in focus than they were in Divine Rivals, because I think in Divine Rivals the gods were sort of in the background, but I think they're more front and center in this one. So I am curious and happy to learn more about the gods and the magical system maybe that they have here, or how it works. And I'm gonna be glad to be back in this world. I really liked it. And finally, the last book that I may read in May, so my last May possibility, is a book I picked up at one of my local bookstores, Paper Cut Books. It's an independent bookstore that we have here. And I saw it and was like, I love the cover. Thought it looked so cute. Felt very I was like, is this an older book? I didn't know, but it's not. It was written very recently, if not this year, last year, 2024. It just looks so cute, so I picked it up, and it's Booked for Murder by P.J. Nelson, a mystery. Look at this cover. I just picked it up because I love this cover. It will also fill in my buzzword cover challenge that I never was able to do. Maybe it was February, I don't know, March, because that one was books on the cover. So it'll fill that even if it's late. But I just love this. I love the colors of this cover. I don't know. It intrigued me. And it's about Madeline Brimley. So she left her small town to go to college and pursue her dreams as an actor. She started getting less acting jobs, moved back when she was at Loose Ends when her beloved aunt Rose passed away, and her aunt left Madeline her eccentric bookstore housed in an old Victorian mansion in Enigma, Georgia. Love the name. So she has a lot of stuff starts happening when she takes over, and I guess eventually, does someone die? People threaten her. There's another fire and a murder in the store, and basically I think she has to figure out who's trying to hurt her and her store, and who murdered whoever gets murdered, I guess. It sounds really good. I mean, it sounds fun. I love these kinds of things. These like cozy murder mysteries are sort of something that I really enjoy reading. So I'm hoping that I will feel into it and get to read this month. All right, that was the last of it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please like, subscribe, comment. That helps my channel. And I love to hear from everybody. Tell me what is in your May possibilities. Link me to your video if you have a video. I love to watch everybody's TBR and possibilities videos. And I think that's it. I will make sure to edit my library haul video to have it up next week. And I will try to have my wrap up video, which should be fairly quick, sometime this week. All right. I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy. I'm having my pajama Sunday, so enjoy your pajama Sunday. And I will hopefully talk to you guys soon. Bye.